Hey, in this lesson, we're gonna learn how to do the jab. So a jab is just a lead hand straight punch. So I'm here, I'm just going to punch straight out, and I'm gonna bring it back. As you're doing this, make sure that you're going in a straight line. It's quite common that people raise the elbow up and then do more of a hammer fist motion, which is more circular, as opposed to in a straight line. So as you're doing this or first learning it, try to keep your elbow pointed down to the ground until the last second when your wrist turns over and then it points out, okay? But for the most part, that elbow should be down. Now, there's so many different ways that you can do a jab, right? I could focus on putting more power into it and turning my hips a little bit more, maybe raising my lead leg. I could have a slight press off the back leg in order to get a little bit more reach with it. Not a huge fan of this, puts a lot of weight onto the front leg. You could step forward and into it, right? So different options with it. Again, the key really is making sure that it goes in that straight line and then it comes back, and that you're able to pop it out fast and then retract it back fast. I don't want to do something like this. All right, I have to, one, shoot it out fast, and two, bring it back fast. Another thing that I like to kind of train into punches is covering with the other hand while you're throwing a punch. So when I'm throwing my jab, a lot of the time my hands are kind of around my shoulder level, but when I throw a punch, I try to raise my other hand up and touch my temple. So I go here, whoa, right? Just that motion of raising it up will kind of put more of a guard, because if I'm punching at them, they're probably punching at me at the same time. So I should have a built-in block. So whenever you're learning this, work on bringing that other hand up. If you're in a more of a squared stance as opposed to a completely bladed stance, you're also going to be popping that shoulder forward some. So this shoulder here, as I go for it. What that does is it's gonna give me a little bit more reach when I pop that shoulder into it. So don't just use the arm only. Use the arm and the shoulder whenever you pop this, right? Again, you can step in, which is one of my preferred methods, is a slight step forward whenever you're going for that jab. Here, push it out, twist at the very last second, other hand comes up, retract it back quick. And then make sure whenever you're punching with these two knuckles right here. We don't want to punch with these three knuckles, we want to punch with these two, which might mean you have to bend the wrist slightly inwards with a flexion, right? And you might also have to push slightly outwards towards the outside forearm bone. Having both of those happen will cause it so that you hit with those big knuckles, the big two knuckles, more often, as opposed to hitting with the little knuckles. If I have a straight line right here, chances are I'm hitting with these three knuckles. These two are more likely to break than if I rotate my wrist or slightly move my wrist and hit with those two knuckles. So we're here, punch it out, other hand comes up, and bring it back, and that is our jab.